Hey, look where we're at. Imagine that. It's Infineon Raceway, and coming up here today to watch Brok McAllister and Brad Lackey do a few laps on the motocross track, which is in preparation for the West Coast MotoJam. So we're going to go up here and check out the track and maybe chat with Brok and the infamous world champion Brad Lackey. All right, see you up there a little bit.
30 or 50 feet between, but as close as tight as we have them.
And we're in the middle of some of the final construction of the motocross track here at Infineon Raceway. It's going to be part of the West Coast MotoJam, and we'll pan around here. And this is only one half of the track, built on the side of the hill here, and it is definitely a natural terrain, really bitchin' setup that Brok McAllister and Brad Lackey have set up here. So we're gonna get some little action video here in a second, and we got Brok's gonna probably go out, and we got some guys are gonna do a few laps, maybe Danny Casey, and see how it looks. Supermoto Online at the motocross track at Infineon Raceway, getting ready for West Coast MotoJam with Brok McAllister and Brad Lackey. Blam! What is happening? Hey, this is Dennis Anderson, Supermoto Online. We're hanging out at another incredible day here at Infineon Raceway, and we're hanging out with the infamous, the world famous Brad Lackey and Brok McAllister. And real quick, tell me what you guys are doing here today, Brad.
Well, we're juicing up the track, laying it out, building some jumps, kind of getting it ready to go. Stealing a little bit of the natural grass off where we got to build some jumps or obstacles, but other than that, we're trying to leave every bit as much grass as we can. We're going to water that up, and we're going to have a beautiful grass track for next weekend, the 14th, 15th, 16th.
And of course, next weekend, a week from, or 10 days from now, basically, is the West Coast MotoJam, which is going to have the multi-discipline action here with flat track motocross, supermoto, road race, electric bikes, vintage road race, vintage motocross. We got it all going on here. It's going to be off the hook. If you're anywhere near the West Coast, you need to get your butt up here. Also, we got here Brok McAllister, who is from SupermotoUSA. He's been doing the supermoto for 10 years here in Northern California. Been running alongside the road race deal for about 5 years here during the AMA weekend. And tell us a little something about what is different this weekend.
Well, everything actually. You know, we'll be back up at the kart track doing the supermoto. But the biggest thing going to happen is this motocross event. And when they said they wanted vintage, naturally I called Brad and we got together and said, yeah, let's make this thing happen. The track is going to be awesome. It's going to be unparalleled. It's the only time in the year that you can come out here and ride off-road. So if you haven't done it before, you want to get there this year. And in addition to the motocross, the supermoto, and of course the road race, Eddie Mulder's going to be doing a flat track. So if you're a motorcycle fan, there's definitely something here for you.
And the crossover.
And the crossover.
The crossover that's going to be the event. How many riders so far pre-entered?
We got 36 riders, and we're going to narrow them to a 24-rider field. And, you know, we've been talking about this thing for a couple of years now. And really what it is it's riders have to compete on the same motorcycle in 3 different disciplines. So they'll be doing dirt track on Friday, motocross on Saturday, and then supermoto on Sunday. The guy who collects the most points gets a cup full of cash and the King of the Hill title.
And
Brad, they're going to have both vintage and modern motocross.
Yes, Friday is going to be vintage and post-vintage motocross. Saturday will be modern motocross with a vintage and post-vintage class. And Sunday will be a cross-country laid out by Rodney Smith, and it will also have vintage classes in it. And back to the crossover, who's the top guys that are in that? The big names.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the guys we think is going to do pretty well is local boy Danny Casey, who comes from a dirt track background, is a #1 plate holder in the 250 Supermoto, and it's a pretty hot shot on a motocross track. So I'm putting my money on Danny, although really it's up for grabs because if you fall down in one of these races and don't finish, it could be anybody's game.
The The superstars are who though? Kopp and who else?
Joe Kopp, if he shows up. Johnny Murphy. Of course, Rodney Smith wants to do it if he's not too busy working on Sunday. Rodney's also a force to be reckoned with because the guy's a talent no matter what he's doing.
I don't know if Mickey's going to be riding the crossover, but Mickey Diamond's going to be here. It's just going to be talent from top to bottom, old to new. You know, more disciplines in one place there's ever been ever on a motorcycling weekend. These guys are putting together the dirt stuff. It is looking awesome. We're going to have a little video about showing the track, showing some of the action. So be here. That's the 14th to the 16th here at Infineon Raceway. Brad, thank you guys very much for being here.
Thank you.
Brock, it's looking good, looking good. That's it. We're out of here. Late.
What is it called? Shazam? Gaboom?
Blam. There we go. What is happening? Hey, once again up here at the absolutely gorgeous Infineon Raceway in the middle of the construction of the motocross track, and we're hanging out here with many multi-time cross-country, outdoor, off-road, everything champion Rodney Smith. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Cool, cool. It's again, it's a gorgeous day. And Rodney, tell me a little bit about your involvement in the West Coast MotoJam and what you're doing up here.
Well, you know, it's a great bunch of guys. Brok McAllister and everybody got together, and you know, we're out here in Infineon Raceway, which was always, actually I got a chance to ride here when I was a kid, I think back in the early 80s, maybe late 70s even, to do some motocross races and stuff. And you know, I think it's everybody's dream to come out here in Infineon and do some racing, and they're giving us that opportunity again, once again, to come out here and tear up this dirt. And you know, I'm out here observing right now the motocross track portion of it that's going to happen on Saturday, and you know, the vintage track's going to happen on Friday. But I'm more looking into the off-road portion of it, which we're going to hold here on Sunday, just trying to get a feel for the land and try to get a little bit of a different layout that I can kind of come in and alter the motocross track and get a little bit longer lap times in. And unfortunately, they're not giving us a whole lot of land to work with here, but I think we can really lay out a fun course that everybody can come out here and have a good time with. And then we're really looking forward to the final race of the day, which is going to be a team race, and I got a lot of good interest in that and some fun things coming.
So kind of a enduro cross, cross country, a little bit of everything rolled into one.
Yeah, you know, we're going to have a real, I don't want to say a mild motocross track, but we should have kind of an old school GP type motocross track here. We're going to utilize a lot of that into the off-road section, but we're going to throw in a lot more off cambers. We're going to throw in some natural terrain, try to slow it down a little bit as much as we can. And actually we're looking into putting in a real mild type of enduro cross little section for the spectators and stuff. But you know, something yet that everybody can get through, but yet kind of make it challenging and fun. So I'm just trying to get some longer laps in out here, and you know, if everything goes good this year, they've kind of promised us that everything goes 100% and goes good, that maybe we can get a little bit more of this natural terrain out here to you know, maybe work with next year.
Well, that is definitely the focus. It's not like this has been a 5-discipline motorcycle racing weekend for years and years. This is the first year. So if you're anywhere near Northern California, you need to get your butt out here. Check out everything that Rodney's doing. Brock, Brad Lackey, the whole crew is up here. Yeah. It's I mean, you can see behind us. It's absolutely scenic. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's kind of cool the way they've got it laid out. It's a whole week of fun racing. I mean, you can actually come down here and ride the flat track. I was actually looking at the flat track myself, thinking about, didn't even know what class I'd ride in it, but you know, kind of thinking about maybe hitting one of those. And you know, the vintage motocross track, and if you're here for the vintage race, you might stick around for Saturday's actual motocross. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's kind of a unique time. Maybe if you're a motocrosser, if you've never done any off-road, you can kind of get into, you know, I think we're going to have hour-long motos, so you know, it's a little bit longer than 20-minute motos. So you can kind of get a feel for some off-road racing if you've never done it before while you're here. You know, everybody, we're going to try to throw it all into one.
And you know, they'll have shuttles going around the track. They're going to have a really organized system of the races from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So no matter which day you're here, or hopefully you can be here for all 3 days, it's going to be rocking and rolling. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thanks again, Rodney, for being here and taking part in this. And couldn't do it without you. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of work getting that off-road course laid out, but I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun.
Cool. Thanks again, and we're out.